Hey, this is Alzay Calhoun with Coveted Consultant. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This video is about content marketing. Specifically, I'm going to lay out a content marketing plan for consultants. I'm going to make the argument that content marketing is no longer an option. It's a must-do in your business. I'm going to talk a little bit about why I believe that's the case and how important it is to shift your own attitude towards content marketing, where it is viewed not as a distraction, something else to do in your business, but instead being a necessary element, it being an asset to what helps you attract excellent clients, your best client. So without any further ado, here we go. Let's begin with why we create content in the first place. Why do we bother? Why do we see it as necessary? How do we even get in this game in the first place? So the truth is that there's a difference between how we used to market back in the 80s and how we market today. So in 1985, for example, your best client had to look you up in a phone book and call you to begin the sales process. There were no cell phones, there were no smartphones, there were no tablets, the internet wasn't a tool people could use. So the way you found a great vendor for services is you had to go to the phone book, find a name, call the number. And that's how you began to get information about a given company. Your best client at that point in time had fewer information sources and expected the free consultation to be the starting point to learn about your company. They expected to talk to a human being and to learn in that way, to learn about your company in that way. Today, the process has completely changed. Your best client can learn everything or nothing about your company without ever having to call you. Your best client expects a free consultation to be one of the last steps, not one of the first. So with the internet now available in our pocket via multiple different devices, we can go home and view the internet, we can get it on our televisions. There's a lot of ways we can get access to information. And so clients now expect that they can go online, do a quick search, and learn something about you. If they can't learn anything about you, it makes them leery. And they certainly don't want to call and talk to you unless they know something about you already. This is now our new situation as consultants. It's not changing. It's not going away. It's to our advantage to learn how to navigate that situation. So that's our bottom line, is content marketing is what your best client is using to differentiate solutions. That's what they're using, your online content, to figure out who's better for me, client A or service provider A or service provider B. So here's the bad news. The bad news is your best client isn't depending on your free consultation for answers. They're not waiting for you to tell them how great you are to them. They are trying to find out how great you might be for them on their own. Now the good news is that there are now massively scalable ways to educate and attract your best client without the free consultation. The free consultation for us in many ways bogs us down. You've got to block out time to offer and to make good on the free consultation. Well, you today with the current climate can leverage the same content in much more scalable ways to reach more people and to better decide and determine who the best clients are for you. So next step here is, how do we create that content? Now, answering that question is really two-pronged. The first is about the quality of your message. Creating great content begins with having a great message. Once you know what your message is, then you can choose the appropriate marketing channels. So let's break that down. So the message, it's important to get this right because this is where many content marketing campaigns break down. Most conventional messages are built around the company themselves. And the message is, we are the best. Where a coveted company who knows how special they are and who is excited about sharing their specific special value proposition is only talking to their best client anyway. So their whole message is, we are the best for you in your given situation. Now here's what the difference looks like. In a conventional message, it sounds like this. We are honest. We are number one in customer service. We have friendly people. We care about our clients. We are experts. All of those statements are focused on the company, talking about how great the company is. Now let's look at the difference between that and the coveted message. The coveted message says, this is who we believe you are. We're talking to our best client, our target market. This is what we believe is affecting you. We're talking about their problems and their desires. Our beliefs have led us to create the following plan for you. And those are the specific products and services that we offer. Everything from a coveted company's perspective speaks directly to the core client, the best client. Why else are you talking? You shouldn't be bragging on yourself. You should be talking to the very best client. So that's the importance of messaging. Now, here's where most people get stuck, is they get stuck on what to create and where to put it. There's an over focus on the marketing channel. And then you become aware of all these different options. You can do it through written, audio, visual, video. You can put it in Google or in YouTube or LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all these different choices. Most companies get stuck here, trying to figure out what the magic mix is between what channel to use and what format to use. What's much more important is the quality and clarity of your message, what you have to say. And when you've got that nailed down, where to put it, the marketing channel to use, is much easier to figure out. To prove that point, let me continue. So let's talk about some models that work, right? So now below this video, in the full article, there are some quick case studies you can look at. But let me walk through the format right now. So step one is about, what do you believe? You got to be clear about what you believe as a company. Specifically, what do you believe about your best client? What do you believe about what affects your best client? What situations are they going through? What do you believe about the role you play as a company in fixing your best client's problem? Now, if you just only created 3 short content pieces answering these 3 basic questions, you would find yourself attracting better clients. So you're already going in the right direction when you talk about what you believe as a company. So step 2 here is to interview the thought leader. Now that might be you. You might be the thought leader of the company, or it might be a partner in the company. Either way is fine, but we want to take those questions right to the thought leader or some of the thought leadership of the company. We want to have them answer those questions honestly. Why? First of all, we want to show leadership. We want your client to hear and see what the leaders of the company sound like and how clear they are about the problem the best client is going through, right? The client wants to know that someone has a real answer, and so they're going to see and hear it from a real person. That's important. They need to hear authenticity. So it needs to sound like a real person is talking, right? Not a robot, not a sales pitch, not something that's been spun, right? No PR spin or marketing spin, but a real person is offering a very real solution to their problem. And then that gets us to relevance. They know that what's being put in the content helps them see that there is a very relevant offer on the back end. You're really going to help me. You were thinking about me. So that's step 2. You interview the thought leader. Step 3 is when you begin to post, syndicate, and distribute. Now, the magic here is when you do this right, you get to speak multiple different content languages at one time. Meaning, you did the interview via video. So you video interviewed your thought leader. So that now you got a video marketing piece that you can use. The audio file can be used for a podcast. The written part of that interview can be used as the blog post on your own website. Then you can take a visual summary of what you talked about in that short interview snippet. That's an infographic, a visual infographic. And then you can take a short checklist as a take-home, as a leave behind, and that can be a lead capture tool. So immediately you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different methods or pieces of content that came from one clear, focused interview with your thought leader. So let's continue. So what's the benefit of that? What happens as you begin to apply this over and over in your company? Number 1, you're going to get scalability. We know that Google, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, these platforms can give us access to darn near the entire world. Anybody with a computer, laptop, smartphone, tablet, etc. has access to these tools. So if we are appropriately positioned on these different tools, we can find the people who should be talking to us. The platforms do the work. Our job is to give them great content. This method I just showed you is systematic. It puts high-level content on a calendar. So you not only do you know what the excellent content is, but you can easily do what I just described twice a month and put great content in front of your best audience 2 times a month, bringing them closer and closer to becoming a client of yours. It's authoritative. It's establishing you as truly the trusted advisor in your network. You begin to build that kind of relationship. Sure, they trust what you have to say on your paid heavier services, because when you offered them information on the front end, it was all of what they needed. It's attractive. This model is about client attracting. The best client can find their content wherever they choose to look, and they can choose you instead of you having to always chase them down to offer products and services. Big point here at the end is that it's an asset. So each content piece you builds on the last. You get to build this entire house of content. And a couple of times a month, you get to put 2 more bricks into that house and build it bigger and bigger. So it becomes more and more obvious to your best client that you are the best possible solution for them. Now, what do you need to make this work, right? What are the ingredients, right? Because you can't do all this today. You can't do all of it tomorrow. So how do you put the puzzle together? So here are the major elements. Number one is you need a messaging strategy. It begins with a quality, clear, high-powered message. You've got to have a clear messaging strategy. Next, you need to have a content plan and a calendar. So that's how many times are we going to make this content, how many times during the year. What exactly do we want people to do after they have consumed the content? Click a link, call a number, etc. You need to have a plan for that and then a calendar so that everybody knows when new content goes out. There's got to be a system for execution. So clearly you can't be the person that makes the content, edits the content, distributes the content, responds to the content, answers all the calls. That's just it's not appropriate and it's not scalable. You can't do it all. So there's got to be a system of execution to make that easy for you and your business. And then you need inspiration to continue to create great content. You won't be able to just pluck it out of your head every time. So you've got to create a few models, a few strategies that will always put something in front of you to respond to. So that might be competitor information, that might be some inspirational books that you've written, that might be some material that you've written some time ago, but you need some things in front of you that you can respond to always keep your wheels turning about great content to make. So the big idea here is that content marketing is here to stay. It is a legitimate part of what is necessary for your business to thrive. Not because it's hot and it's a cool topic, but because your customer is already using content to figure out if you're their best solutions provider. And if you're not speaking fluently in that conversation, then you're going to miss out on opportunities. So it's to your advantage to take your great message, to put it into wonderful content and make it available for the client who fits you best. So with that being said, I appreciate you for taking the time to listen and watch this video. Please review the entire article below. Please download the strategies that are available attached to this video and use them. Let me know how it works. Again, this is Alze Calhoun with CovetedConsultant.com.